had I think about 72 play scrimmage today. Today was the first time that we had held a true scrimmage. Each of the other 8 practices that we have been normal practices to where, you know, drill work and all that. Today we just basically lined up, and I'm not sure when you guys left, but just, you know, did about 4 reps of a kickoff return thing, and then we warmed up and rolled the ball out and played some football. So put our guys in a bunch of situations. Offensively, was happy with how we did on 3rd down, and you know, we've been doing our score zone area for about a week now, and improved on that. You know, which, you know, defensively took a step back at that, but you know, it's kind of part of the process of spring ball as well. Last Tuesday, offense did pretty good 3rd down wise and score zone wise, and then Thursday, defense did really well on 3rd downs and score zone wise. So typically in spring, whoever gets beat on the last practice comes back with you know, with a little bit more motivation, which is I think what offensively we did today. So got through, no injuries were no injuries were reported, and got a lot of snaps where we can line up and look at it and see how it looks. So we'll study the film tonight and tomorrow, and then line back up on Tuesday. Take some questions.
Without having studied the film, what's your first impression, and how do you feel like you guys did both sides of the ball?
Running game offensively was good. Sean Alston looked as good as I've ever seen him. He's hard to tackle. He's in, you know, last spring we didn't get anything out of him, and then camp we didn't get anything out of him, and then the first 5 games of the year we didn't get anything out of him, and then as the season went on, he became more healthy. He looks good. Andrew Bowie runs hard, so we're doing something right up front from a blocking standpoint. Ryan Clark and Donovan Miles are doing, you know, good from a blocking standpoint, but just looking at those 2 guys run, they ran pretty hard. That's the first thing that stands out. And then again, the situational stuff from things that we need to do to get better offensively on 3rd down situations and score zone look pretty good.
Dan, when you get into situations like this, I mean, clearly you're going up against yourself all the way up until the season. There's no other opponent. How much do you see the guys kind of relish that opportunity, though, to actually get a win if they're on offense, or, you know, get a stop on defense?
Yeah, they're competing. I mean, that's if you don't have that, then you got problems, you know. But you got guys like Tavon and Broderick, you know, jawing at each other pretty good, and, you know, and there's a lot of that stuff going on. You got guys like, you know, Cook and Stedman that are jawing, going at it, and, you know, from a up front standpoint, you know, Braun is a guy that is a totally different guy than he was a year ago, and you get him and George Wright getting after it. And watching those guys compete is something that has to exist in order to have any kind of chance whatsoever of getting better. So that's existing, and we're happy with that. You know, again, it's who wins and who loses isn't really necessarily the point. You know, offensively, those guys want to win, but defensively, those guys want to win. And it's not a competition. It's you know, make yourself better, make your unit better, make your team better.
Your defensive coordinators were talking a lot about the depth that you're going to need going against some of those offenses next year. How's that coming along, and what are you hoping for there by the end of spring here?
Well, just progress. Just progress. You need to keep getting these guys reps. Again, this is the first of 3 true live scrimmage situations, so we'll learn a lot more about it, you know, once we study the film today. But then it's just improving, and you're going to add 25 more guys in August, where we're going to get those guys a bunch of snaps to see who can handle playing at this level right now. So it's all about snaps. It's all about repping first team, second team, third team guys, and seeing who makes progress and who doesn't.
Are there things you can only evaluate in scrimmage situations, or is it just part of the process?
Well, there's you know, we practice against each other and have team reps all the time, but there's the moving the ball aspect of things that has to exist from a situational standpoint. You can't get that if you're just running team period against each other. So, you know, how will people actually do when they move the ball, and, you know, you put them in that situation, it's a little higher intensity, and was clearly a little bit different out there today than it was in previous team periods.
defensively in terms of getting the plays in, getting the calls, things like that? How'd that go today? I imagine it was faster than you guys have done before.
Really, I'm impressed with it. You know, and again, that's one reason these guys have been hired. You know, because everybody we play is going to be able to run things quickly, and you know, I don't tempo our guys in a normal team situation. In the scrimmage, I do. And so there was times where we were going a lot faster, as you know, like as we would in a real game, to where, you know, the defensive guys, they understand that and they're not complaining about it. All they're doing is understanding that this is real life and this is the way it's going to be. So we better figure out ways to get calls in, and we better figure out ways to ignore personnel and line up and be able to get it communicated. I thought they did a great job of communicating it and getting lined up. You know, didn't stop us and didn't tackle as well as we'd like them to, but that will come.
You talked about guys joining each other in competition, getting, you know, kind of way I guess a football coach likes it. You don't mind, I guess, when they get into a scuffle or whatever, as long as no one gets hurt.
Yeah, it's you know, just obviously unless it wastes too much time or gets somebody hurt or carries into the locker room, then you got a problem, which none of that exists right now.
Is it, I mean, I guess you just got to draw a line on your own almost.
Yeah, you just tell them to quit it and move on. You know, I mean, it's good, wholesome, healthy fun is what it is. And if that competitive edge doesn't exist, then you're in trouble. And I think we got some guys that have that, you know, have the ability to be able to challenge some people. And, you know, I mean, Tavon talks more crap than anybody on our team, I can assure you that. But it's all in good fun, you know, and it's good fun. With him, it carries into the locker room because it's all in good fun. He's a great teammate.
Has Bowie been a nice surprise?
Yeah, just from a consistency standpoint, he's a tough kid. He ran hard, you know, gets hit hard, plays hard, you know, blocks hard, you know, takes hits because he plays so hard. Yeah, and for him to be able to do it for 9 straight days has impressed me. You know, I'm sure Dustin's watching on the sidelines and with some anxiety just seeing him get a whole bunch of reps, and Sean as well. You know, but as we found out last year, you can't just go into the season with one running back. I mean, you need to have a bunch of them. But I'm sure Dustin's ready to get to August where he can get out there and get some reps as well.
In the few plays we saw, it seemed like the offense, we saw the first drive, I guess. It seemed like you guys picked up right where you left off. I know you're not looking to be in mid-season form, but do you feel like there's some carryover from last year and that these guys are still kind of clicking there?
Well, there better be. We're not doing our job if there isn't. You got 9 starters back. I mean, those guys know what to do. Yeah, and now it's about just improving everything, you know, from a consistency standpoint. I mean, all 9 of them should be better than they were in December. The whole mid-season form thing comes from a timing aspect and a health aspect and a game plan aspect and all that. But these guys individually, everything about them should be a little better than it was in December. Confidence-wise and strength-wise, speed-wise, familiarity-wise. And yeah, I do think that exists. And again, our objectives offensively to improve, to get better, are getting better in situations and developing depth, which we're doing slowly, you know, and we'll continue to do it in August.
A week ago, you said that you saw Sean Austin getting better and all that, but as a situational fact more than anything else, is he starting to do things to make you think that you could do things with him?
Yeah. It's hard to tackle. I mean, he plays so hard as well that, I mean, none of them can be an every down guy because we ask our backs to do so much and we play so many backs from a 1-back set, 2-set back set, 3-back set, to where they're all going to take a bunch of snaps. But clearly, it happened in the bowl game too. I mean, Sean was pretty much our every down back in the bowl game, spelled by Bowie, which is really what we're doing out there right now. I mean, those guys complement each other well. But if those were the only 2 that we had going through a 12-game season, we would be in trouble.
How was the situational stuff? You mentioned that before in the score zone stuff.
It was good today, I thought. I don't have the exact numbers. I know the last practice we had, defense won 11 third downs, and we won 5. That's what that chart is right there. I don't know what it was today. I would be shocked if it was less than 50%, but I don't have those numbers. I was happy with it, and then from a score zone situation, we scored every time we got down there.
Personnel-wise, anybody stand out defensively today?
Oh, I don't know. I couldn't tell you that until I watch the tape again. I'm doing my best to try to look at all 22 of them, but that's pretty hard.
I was seeing from Donovan Miles, like the eagerness to learn that position quickly because he really wants to get out there and make a difference.
Yes, senior. You know, seniors that, you know, if it means something to them and they're seniors, then they're probably going to give you a little bit more last go around. So he's gonna, and he takes a lot of the beating off of Ryan. If we only had one of them, then you know Ryan would have a hard time making it through the spring. So he's doing a good job getting in there and taking 50% of those reps, and then just continuing to get better. You got to learn what to do first, and then we teach him how to get better at it.
How is Jordan Thompson progressing?
Good. Made a few plays a day. Made a few plays a day. He's again, and I've mentioned this in here before, he's a little bitty dude, but he doesn't play little. He plays hard, and he caught a couple of screens and ran a couple of quicks and caught a couple of balls, so he did well.
You had Ivan back out there today? Was he
still
slowly
limited.
working in?
Still limited, but at least he's trying. Question that for a few days.
Is there any young guy that you really didn't think you had plans for coming into the spring that stepped up and maybe caught your eye and said maybe we can do something with this guy, or maybe we can play?
Carl Joseph, probably the one guy of all the new guys coming in. He's got something to him. So you can pencil him into play a good bit.
And when you say he's got something to him, what does he show?
He's mature. You know, he's not scared. He's mature. He's physical. Sometimes it takes guys a couple of years before they're physically ready to play or mentally ready to play or whatever it is. It was an easy adjustment for him. I'm not saying he doesn't make mistakes or miss tackles or any of that. He does, but from a demeanor standpoint and the effort and the maturity and the physical capabilities of being able to handle it, he's a guy that's going to be fine.
Coach,
quickly.
What'd you learn from Ford Childress today in the scrimmage?
When he throws it, it goes exactly where you want him to throw it, and it goes there and it looks good, and it's usually extremely accurate. You know, it doesn't mean his eyes are always where they need to be, or, you know, there's so much to think about from a communication standpoint. You know, he's slow with it because he doesn't have the reps yet, but is getting better at it. The one thing is he stands in the pocket and he throws it and it goes exactly where you want him to go.
Coach, I know a couple of recruits today, and you can't get into specifics of who was here or anything, but when you have eyes on your practice, is there anything that you hope that those guys will take from it, or anything that you hope to impress upon them about the program?
Oh, just the overall, I don't know how to describe it. I guess the overall atmosphere as far as how our players act, and you know, do they like to be here? That's what we stress upon them is we encourage these recruits to come, you know, see what we have to offer, but be around our players as much as they possibly can to feel, you know, what I believe in, which is these guys want to be here and they want to work hard, and they enjoy each other, and they enjoy the atmosphere, and they enjoy the environment, and they enjoy being together and playing football.
The other day, Gino was out here talking about how not only when he watches film not of himself, but as the whole offense. Do you sense that he knows what everybody's doing on the field?
That's part of you know, just being an experienced guy. I mean, he's played a lot of football, but having year two in this offense makes our job easier. He doesn't need to think too much about what the other 10 guys are doing. He needs to worry about what he's doing first and foremost. But from an experience standpoint, that's something, you know, the whole coach on the field thing. You know, he knows where everybody is. Everybody being on the same page and the timing being good is important.
change your schedule up today? Obviously pushed everything back for the holiday. Talk about that and being able to do that, accommodate guys and spending time with family. And
Yeah, which that's part of why we give them Fridays and Saturdays off. For a lot of guys that want to go home, get away, they can go home and get away. I mean, I'm all about that. Just, you know, when you're here, you need to work hard, but you also need to understand that we're going to give you time to get away from it. And we need to get 2 more good weeks out of them, because then they're going to get 3 to 4 weeks off. May is when college football players have time off. It's not June, it's not July, it's not August, it's not December, it's May. So, you know, we're stressing upon, you know, giving us everything you got for 2 more weeks. You know, plus it was a scrimmage, which means we're only going to be out there for an hour as opposed to 2.5 hours. So that allowed us to push it back too. I didn't want to be out there practicing at 8, 9, 10 o'clock at night, because they got study hall stuff going on right now. So it just fit the schedule pretty good.
You said something very interesting a second ago, that year two in the offense, it gets better for the quarterback. You have bounced around so much that you haven't had the luxury of having a quarterback for 4 years in quite a while. I mean, are you kind of looking forward to eventually getting to that stage?
Well, yeah, at Tech we did. You know, we had I was there for a long time, and you know, we had a bunch of guys coming back that I think we started 4 senior quarterbacks in a row, which made things easier and better. Year 2 at Houston with Case was a lot easier, but again, the thing that got better wasn't like the production aspect of things, but it was the success in the situations and stuff. That's what we're just trying to become a better, not a more explosive offense, or get more yards offense, or just a smarter offense that is good in situations and understands first downs. And I feel like that's where we're going.
How much interaction have you had with the guys whose eligibility is up and they're kind of waiting to be drafted or signed later this month, in terms of like mentoring them on preparing for that or anything?
I don't say anything to them. I mean, there's aspects of that I don't understand. So yeah, I mean, I worry about the guys that are going to win us games next year, and I mean, I see those guys downstairs, all the time, and I just chit chat with them, or make fun of them, or do something, and have a laugh and hang out, and just see how they're doing and all that stuff. But there's enough on our plate to worry about, so that's kind of where we focus in on.
Okay, thanks, Coach.
All right, guys, we'll see.